going on with battle royales right now?
If we didn't have marketers, there would be nobody to leak new season changes for Apex. At this point, leaking something is a job that you can apply for.
They're doing fan service, so that way more people will play the game. They'll be able to buy more skins.
Games that do listen to what people want.
Do phenomenal. Oh, yeah.
No, they get shut down.
Yeah, that's true.
High
yeah.
Guard.
Yeah.
We wanted more players. They gave us more players
Yeah,
like a week later.
Yeah, like nostalgia's huge right now. But that also leaves no room for innovation.
You're starting to see game developers realize that they need to make dramatic changes to their games to keep them fresh.
One at Lord of the Rings VR and Gollum being the announcer. The ring, the precious, where is it? What's up, everybody, and welcome to Back to the Lobby podcast with myself, Deadly Dill. Got my boy Threephase, my co-host, here with me as well. It's gonna be a good day. Today, we're gonna talk about what the heck is going on with battle royales right now. It seems like they're just in a crazy spot, and then also what the heck is going on with game developers constantly making their fan base angry. It just seems like no matter what the fans say, game developers just do the exact opposite. Hey, we need this, but then let's put something the exact opposite into a game. Doesn't make sense. And why the heck is an 8-year-old game experiencing record high numbers on Steam? Crazy what's going on with gaming right now. I don't get it. But it seems like that BR's #1 are in this weird spot right now. And we were big BR players. Apex, we play Apex. You grinded Fortnite for years. And then there's randomly PUBG. I don't even know why we're gonna talk about PUBG today. It's gonna be funny. But we're just here, but we're big Apex players, and I think it comes to the question, like, BR's has been around for such a long time now. We're hitting almost like was it 7 years now with Apex? We're celebrating this past month. Lots of, there's been a lot of game modes, a lot of switching, a lot of different things. The genre has exploded since Fortnite. There's a lot of crazy things going on. What, Phase, like, what do you feel like the current state as someone who loves BRs? Because I feel like anytime I try to play another game, you're like, Apex. So we must play Apex. But what is your thoughts? I guess, number one, as someone who's we both play Apex. We both love Apex. I still love Apex, but it still feels like it's in a weird spot. What are your thoughts on this? I don't know. I feel like it's a crazy spot right now.
Yeah, man. I think it feels like it's in a weird spot because you're starting to see game developers realize that they need to make dramatic changes to their games to keep them fresh. Yep. So we can see that with Apex introducing Wildcard. I think we're on two seasons with Wildcard now.
Wildcard, yep.
Right, and then also Call of Duty basically just turned Warzone into Blackout 2.
Yep.
I think they called it Blackout Royale.
Yep.
And it's a completely different game.
Yeah, totally different.
I watched Tim the Tatman play, and I see squirrel suits, I see grapple guns. No loadouts anymore.
No loadouts. Right? Nope.
So it's like Apex.
Yep.
Ground loot guns.
It's basically Apex. Yep.
And then it's like Fortnite because you have weapon upgrades, right? It's because in Fortnite you have weapon upgrade benches. You can go and upgrade your guns. It's not quite that customizable, but still, just the idea of like you can upgrade your weapon in game. But it still has some of that old Call of Duty-ness to it.
Right.
So, with like kill streaks and things like that.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool to see people playing COD again, especially watching guys like Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx like squad up.
Right.
And jump into the game. But, how long is that really going to last?
Yeah. People feel like they just keep like patching things almost. There's no like revolutionary update to the game, right? Where, it's like, wow, like you situated a character's like skill, like or reworked a character. Cool, like awesome. Apex hasn't introduced like a new gun in like forever. Like there's never any of that. Like a new character, we had one new character, which is cool, but like I don't know. It feels, and then they're not coming up with any new maps. It's very much like, let's just rework the old maps that we have. And I get it. At the same time, it makes you question, like, what's really going on with these studios, and does it matter that we're seeing, like, numbers drop off, right? And so I think with Apex and with Call of Duty and stuff like that, I never played Blackout ever. I didn't play Black Ops 4. But I've seen a lot of people enjoy it. But it just feels like They're doing almost they're not doing what the people want. They're doing fan service, so that way more people will play the game. They'll be able to buy more skins. They'll be able to, like, I mean, the whole thing with Gundam, like with Apex, they just came out with this whole Gundam thing. Trust me, I wanted to like spend a lot of money. Like I wanted to spend a ton of money on that game. Like, but I was not about to drop $150 on skins.
I'm
right?
about to.
Oh
I got 2 skins I gotta get, bro.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway,
and I really want the beam saber, but
okay,
probably not gonna happen.
okay.
It's yeah.
Anyway, I'm not gonna be able to buy it. Okay, I got 4 children to feed.
I have a dog. He eats a lot.
But no, it just they're just in a. It's just there's no innovation. There's nothing that's groundbreaking that's going on with this genre right now, and it's in a funky place.
Well, hold on, because since we're talking about Apex, with the whole Gundam update,
yeah,
I mean they introduced like the beam rifle in there, which is insane.
Yeah.
Inside a wild card, obviously, like rank remains untouched and should remain untouched.
Yeah.
That's always been my biggest grievance with Fortnite's ranked mode is like all of the goofy stuff that's in the regular game. It's also in ranked. It's
Right.
like, bro, you can't be doing that.
Right.
I know that there's like some things they remove, but for the most part, it's like, dude, you can't be bringing those mythic weapons into rank. That's wild. Right. But with Apex, it seems like they're really going all in on making wildcard the place where they can just do silly things like baseball bats and and beam rifles
But then is it a BR? It's not a BR at that point.
Right.
It's not a BR. It's just another. It's an arcade shooter. It's become team deathmatch.
Yeah.
Is what it's become, or resurgence is really what wildcard is, right?
Right. Which is what everybody in Call of Duty really wanted for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? This Rebirth Island was a lot of people's place to live.
Right.
However, you'd still see a lot of more higher skilled players still want to play on the big maps, still want to play Battle Royale. And, just from my own experience, not that I'm on the same level as those guys, but I appreciate the high stakes of the Battle Royale. Like, it's not like you just keep coming back.
Right.
Which, interestingly enough, with Blackout, it's not like Resurgence. You don't just keep coming back. You get like one respawn.
Yep.
Like one free respawn.
Yep.
And then after that, you have to go to a respawn tower to respawn your teammates.
Now, I didn't play Blackout. Was that how it was before? Was it a respawn? You get a free respawn and then you get a tower and stuff like that?
I'll be honest, with the original Blackout, I don't remember. But with this current iteration, Black Ops Royale,
right?
That's what it is.
Well,
so.
what's funny is that if they didn't do that before, they literally copied. You know who they copied? Another BR, RedSec. They copied Battlefield 6 because that's what they do.
Dude, I forgot Battlefield had a BR.
Exactly. So, like, they copied RedSec. They added those towers that literally look exactly the same. And in RedSec, you get one free revive. So it's just funny. I mean, like Call of Duty, the same thing with balloons. Like when Apex was at its peak, like they added the
Call of
balloons.
Duty did it.
They added it, right? And so
that's
what I'm saying is that like Call of Duty, like when it comes to Battle Royale, is they're just not innovative. They're not innovating. It's a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that it's bad. I mean, I really enjoyed Warzone when it first came out. I loved Warzone when it first came out. But I just don't see a lot of innovation when it comes to games that are in the BR category. It's just very, there's no new stuff. And then even if you add new stuff, people complain. It's just there's no winning. Like people almost like want everything back the way it was sometimes, right? But I look at remember when Apex brought back the OG mode, bro. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I hate this game. Why did we like this game? This sucks so bad.
It was the same thing with Warzone.
Yeah.
When they brought back Verdansk, and they're like, no, we're bringing it back to where you can't even. There's like things that it's like you got used to doing, you couldn't do anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, bro, we liked this.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like no zip lines on things.
Right. You're like, what is the deal? Right. Exactly. And so I think just BR's weird. I don't think BR's are ever going to die.
I'll keep them alive.
But I just think they're in a strange place right now. I think again, people like I'm always gonna play Apex. I love Apex. I don't really like too many other BRs, but I don't know. It's just it's interesting. But speaking of BR stirring up stuff, I know that Fortnite recently has done something, and maybe since you're the big Fortnite guy, maybe you want to dive in a little bit, and I can chime in a little bit of my thoughts about this.
Oh man, yeah. So it's been getting really interesting on X. People are in an absolute uproar over V-Bucks changes.
Yep.
And so, based off of what I was reading, it looks like they decided to, instead of raising the price of V-Bucks, they just reduced the amount of V-Bucks that you get per transaction. And I don't know if there's any other details around that, but that's just kind of what I saw, like just looking at the headlines. And immediately you got corporate greed, cash grab, all of kind of like the same things that a lot of gamers complain about.
Yep.
And I don't know if I agree with the gamers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, this economy, like, you're taking away the amount that it just keeps. Here's the problem with it, and I see what you're saying. A business move. It makes sense because the supply is high. It makes sense to raise some sort of money because not the supply, the demand is high for what they're doing. Okay. However, if you're charging more but we're getting less, because you're still charging more, it's technically not a price raise, but in a sense it is though at the same time. So it is a price raise. So you're not getting anything more, you're getting the same, and there's no reason for that other than they want to continue to make money. But Fortnite's so loaded, in my opinion. I mean, like, and to be honest, like, how is Fortnite still even relevant to today? To be honest, I think the only reason, if I can be real, my thought, I don't play a ton of Fortnite, but when I come around for the Star Wars events. But like, what's the appeal? Like, it's not a hero shooter. There's no I mean, there's skill involved. I would say with gunfight, like it's gunfighting with third person is definitely a skill. There's a lot of good players in Fortnite. But I mean, the only thing I feel like the reason why it's staying relevant is honestly because of all the events they do, the skins they bring in, the collabs they do. So the gameplay isn't really the star in Fortnite. It's the collabs. And it's not necessarily like, wow, let's hop in and just like, let's grind some Fortnite. No, it's like, let me put on this sick skin so I can fight people as Darth Vader wearing Jordans, driving a Hummer. Like that's what I feel the appeal is, which is cool. But like as a game in general, it doesn't feel like if you took all of that away and you just had the Fortnite and that's it, and you had basic skins that you could get, did something similar to Apex where you get like some funny, some good skins, some epic skins, some legendary skins that were just normal. What would the appeal for Fortnite, in my opinion, wouldn't be there anymore?
Not on the scale.
Yeah.
So, whenever it comes to Fortnite, I think the reason why it remains the big game that it is is because they actually cater to more than one audience. So,
True.
as to where like Call of Duty goes back and forth between catering to the casual and then catering to the sweat. Right now, we're in Call of Duty's back in its sweat era.
Yep.
Fortnite has just the regular game that's been continuing to evolve.
Right.
And while it's not a hero shooter, it
Right.
has hero elements because every new season, whether it's through a collab or not, they're adding different mythic items, which give you either abilities or it's like a weapon that does something.
True.
And it just adds a completely new element to the game. And also, they introduce like a new piece of movement tech, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's unique in that way, and it's always changing and evolving. But you have that section of players is like, bro, just give me like Fortnite from, chapter 3.
Well, and that's why they have the Fortnite OG.
OG.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Fortnite
And
OG came
so
out.
an OG has a pretty big player base. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people in there. That's where your super sweats are.
Right. That makes sense.
So, and then You know, I think that Fortnite is probably the best at being innovative, and adding new things to the game. And then, I mean, even like the biggest thing that they ever did was add zero build. That's
Yeah,
that's
no, I
really
agree.
whenever I was like, dude, I'm a Fortnite player
Well, then does that take away though the original intent for Fortnite, or is it them just catering to everyone can play, which is good? But then they did innovate, but then it's like the whole original concept of the game now is like out the window almost. It
now.
feels like, but at the same time, I play. I mean, like I play no build like crazy because I
Yeah,
can't build. Like I'm not gonna be able to crank 90s or anything like that. But no, yeah,
Ninja doesn't even play builds.
right, right, not anymore. No, that's true. No, but I agree with you. I think you're dead on though. I think they're definitely innovative. But I just think as a BR, I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't like the appeal. The skins are sick because also too you can actually see the skins when you're playing, which is nice. But at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Fortnite's making business decisions.
Yep.
Right, and a lot of them are good for the game. Uh, in business, whenever you've kind of maxed out
Yep.
your audience, the next move is to bring in another audience, and that's what they did with introducing zero build.
That's
They
true. Yeah.
said, "All right, we got the build sweats in here. You
Right.
know, the sweaty 19-year-olds who are trying to become esports players rather
Right.
than going to college.
Right.
Probably not a bad idea."
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
But they was like, "What about the dads?
True.
What about the dads?"
Yeah.
Right? I used to call zero build dad mode. For a
Dad
reason.
mode. The dads that are getting off of the 9 to 5 or the 6 to 6, just blue collar, just got done installing a freezer or digging some pipe up or something, plumbing. I don't know, man. Just doing HVAC, just sweating, wanting to hop on, crack open a cold apple juice
Yep.
with the
That's right.
boys and play some
Specifically his boys.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
His 8-year-old,
Yeah, right,
12-year-old.
and just play the game. But then instead of getting demolished, but Fortnite does provide the perfect balance of casual and sweat.
Yeah.
So I know I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that. I just think as far as just like gameplay goes, it's interesting to me. But anyway, yeah.
But obviously that's a business decision.
Yeah.
Right. That worked out really to the benefit because the people who enjoyed build mode, they get to still enjoy build mode.
Mhm.
Maybe their lobby's a little bit smaller.
Also, Lego Fortnite too.
Lego
they added
Fortnite
that.
is fire.
Yeah.
I mean, you play Lego Fortnite with your kids.
Yeah, it's true. It's
right.
true.
So I mean,
but it doesn't really count as a BR. It's not a BR. It's just part of Fortnite. Anyway,
well,
we
yeah.
were
I
talking
mean,
BR part. Yeah.
this is just how Fortnite is keeping itself relevant.
That's true. I agree. I agree.
But as far as the business perspective of what they did with pricing, either way, you're having to spend more money.
Yeah.
They're trying to soften the blow by making it like, well, you're not spending as much money. Your money's just not going as far.
Right.
It's kind of like saying that something's $97 instead of $100.
Right.
Right.
That makes sense.
It's kind of the same psychological thing that they're going for there. I think the biggest problem here isn't necessarily. There's a problem. There's a problem on two sides. Okay. There's a problem whenever corporations basically force price changes whenever they're not clearly investing into the quality of life of the game. That's a problem.
Right.
That's not taking care of your customer base. And when you're not taking care of your customer base, that's wrong.
Yep. 100%.
Right? On the other side of that, we're talking about large, publicly traded companies where they are legally bound to make sure that they are doing everything that they can to make their shareholders more money. And just so that people know, whenever we think of shareholders, we think of people who are like uber rich,
right?
Who like are day trading,
right?
Chads,
Bro,
right? But realistically, people who are invested in companies and things like that, a lot of them are people on like Robinhood apps.
Yep.
And regular dudes regular moms,
Right.
people who are just trying to build up a little bit of a nest egg to maybe pass down to their kids, right? And I think that's a good thing.
I agree.
mean, even Proverbs tells us that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children,
Right.
which
right.
is why Jewish people think multi-generationally with wealth.
Yep.
But I can still understand why people are like corporate greed.
Right.
At the same time,
Same time, they're trying to
they
just
are
do
legally
business.
bound.
Right.
And if they're not doing the best that they can get fired,
Yeah.
or they can go to jail, or they can get fined. Like all of these things.
Go to jail.
Go
No.
to jail.
Go
We
to
need the
jail.
button.
Go to jail. Go to jail right now. Go to jail.
So, I mean, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. And I think really you just get one person to start screaming it, and then everybody just loves to jump on the outrage train.
Oh yeah,
Right.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So at the end of the day, yes, it does suck that they need to make more money. Not only do they need to make more money, but there's a lot of rising costs in data right now.
Yep.
Energy costs are going up because of artificial intelligence demands.
Yep.
Right. Energy costs are going up for fuel, and that trickles into everything.
Yep.
Right. So, it's one of those things where it's like, well, the cost of literally everything is going up.
Yep.
So tech companies have to make a little bit more money too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And while I agree, I would love to see developers get paid a little bit more. I also don't really know how much they actually get paid.
Yeah,
You know
it
what
depends.
I'm saying? And there's other people in companies that also have to get paid, right? And they get raises,
Yep.
and and a lot of those people are very critical to the game. Like
right.
marketers make decent money because without marketers, nobody knows your game exists.
Right. That's true.
Right.
That's true.
You rely on things like Game Awards, one campaign,
Right. right.
or you see the you ever seen like on social media, a company will post like the Microsoft Paint ad where it's like, our marketer quit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly.
Please buy our stuff.
Please buy.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, it's funny, but like that's marketing, right? People, like, there's people who are in charge of getting things in front of you. That way you know that they exist.
Right.
Right. Or otherwise you release something, or even game updates, right? And that's why you got to continue to have marketers. If we didn't have marketers, we wouldn't get hyped about new season updates.
Right,
If we didn't have marketers, there would be nobody to leak new season changes for Apex to people on X.
Oh no, they leaked.
Oh wait, I
No.
didn't say that out loud, did I?
No. Oh no, we leaked. No, it was your team. It was the team who leaked it. Like,
It was like, at this point, it's like, it's not a leak, dude.
yeah, at this point, you guys are just putting it out there. you know?
At this point, leaking something is a job that you can apply for. EA is looking for
Yeah.
content leakers.
Content leakers for EA, guys. Do it. Speaking of other things that are on the rise, not just prices, but there is one BR out of every BR that is in existence right now. So what is it? Call of Duty, Apex, and Fortnite all have experienced a 30% player drop.
Yeah,
About that. There is one BR that we did not expect to even be to be any sort of relevant today at all. Has a 6% rise in player base, and that's PUBG.
Chicken dinners, my friends.
People want that fried chicken dinner, but that's just crazy. I didn't expect people to still be playing PUBG.
Well, when you only have 10 players,
It's
and
6%.
you add 2 more.
We're the fastest growing BR in America.
Actually,
I actually never played. PUBG.
neither did I. As a matter of fact, whenever it was like the big game to play,
I remember all the commercials for Xbox and like everything, which is massive. Yeah.
but all of my friends just kind of told me about how buggy it was.
Right.
It's like, okay,
Of course.
well, why would I want to play that? Well, now I play Apex, and I understand. But
Right. Jeez. That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely wild. I don't, as far as I know, PUBG hasn't really released any like crazy new content or anything. I mean,
Right.
obviously they're still doing live updates and patches. There's still a player base, especially on mobile.
Right.
PUBG Mobile is wildly popular,
Popular.
wildly popular internationally.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could see that for sure.
So,
For sure. No, PUBG. Yeah, I just when I saw 6% raise in PUBG, I was like, people still play this game? Like, what is going on here? You know? But yeah, that just blew my mind a little bit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have games like PUBG that are still hanging around, but then some games can't even get a start.
Yeah.
Like High Guard.
We don't talk about High Ground.
We should take a moment of silence.
I love that game. I don't
Dude.
care what anyone said.
Yeah.
I posted. I did another tweet, and I said, I don't care what anyone says. This game was great. Everyone who said it sucked really only played like a round, and didn't feel like playing the game. Everyone's like, well, yeah, I just didn't like it. It's just we could just not like a game. I'm like, you played for an hour, like if that. You played one round, and then you said, nope, this is dumb. It's like the hate on the game was so. Was it perfect? No. Was it horrible? No. Was it in the middle? Yes. It wasn't mid, but it was in the middle. It was somewhere in there. It was good. It was fun. Finally, 5-player game where you could play with the homies. But
It's
just
true.
yeah, we played one time.
One time with the boys.
Yep, with the boys, and that just anyway.
Talk about like innovation though. High Guard was actually an innovative game.
Yeah, very innovative. Yeah.
So
Wasn't
like
a
the
VR,
whole
it was
concept of
interesting,
like a mount,
Yep.
and which was cool because it's like now the map could be bigger
Right.
than other like 3v3 or 5v5 games.
Correct.
And then the whole concept of like breaking down the shield and then go. Yeah, I mean, sure, it had some elements of other games, but it's like they brought something really unique to the table.
Yeah, they did.
And honestly, it was just really cool. And the other thing that I really got excited for, because Apex stopped doing this, is they were introducing lore.
Yeah, they started introducing lore. I'm like, oh,
Yes,
this lore would have been so good. Like,
yeah.
we lost something really cool. I'm just saying. Like
Yeah.
people, that's the problem too. And I think if I can be real, I think it's a millennial curse here. We long for nostalgia. We don't want anything different, and we want new. We want the nostalgia to almost be just redone better. That's why you get remakes all the time. That's why you get updates all the time. That's why you get remastered. That's why we're getting Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, resynced. And I'm like, it's one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever, in my
It's the
opinion.
only one I've ever played.
However, I feel like because right now the biggest gamers right now are millennials, and you have your Gen Z. Millennials just want to feel young again. We want to feel like we're playing those games that we played on our PS2 and our PlayStations and our Segas. Like we want to relive some of that stuff. And so when we have games that we played in the past, even if they're recent, like a Halo or like something like that, we're like, remaster. We want a remade. We want this. Even Knights of the Old Republic that's coming out. Like, I know it's off topic, but still, it's just like the thought of, no, these games are not. They're bringing back old things to hopefully get the player base back, to hopefully get new people back. You're gonna get a swarm of, 30s, 40s people hopping into these games because they're bringing back something that they loved. So it's just the state of gaming right now, I feel.
Yeah. It's kind of like the growing up, your parents like didn't understand why you liked the music you liked.
Right, yeah.
They just wanted to continue listening to their old stuff.
Yeah.
And, which is kind of cool for us because like we like that too, but all those bands are like starting to make new music now.
Yeah, and you're like, let's go. Yeah, exactly.
So it just kind of feels like the same thing, except like video games
Exactly.
are like, well, back in my day,
it is the
type of
blah
thing.
blah blah. It's like it's the same thing. Like so when something new comes out that's foreign, that's like different than what we are used to, we get a little like weird about it, and we get almost like attacking. It's like, you're attacking our gaming, you're attacking the stuff that we love. Like, why are you doing this? Like, it gets weird, and I feel like that's why people are hesitant to innovate in gaming right now, even when it comes to BRs.
Yeah, and nostalgia, there's a huge market for that with our generation.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I can't help but wonder. It seems like nostalgia's even bigger with our generation than generations before us.
Yep, 100%.
And even generations after us don't really have enough time in the world yet to really generate nostalgia. But I don't really think that Gen Z is going to be a very nostalgic generation. Probably because I don't know. It seems like a lot of them didn't really enjoy their childhood.
No, well, like I think though too. We millennials were in such such a huge part in history where it's like we went from like, how can I explain this? Like this tech age, like we advanced so quick in tech. Like we went from we can remember VCRs and the tube TVs, and I remember I had an antenna TV. I had one of those TVs when I was a kid that was like the big old box TV that had the big speakers on the side and the little tiny tube like in the middle, like tube TV in the middle. Like I remember all that, but then I also remember like the first iPhone coming out, and then I remember the first iPad coming out, and I remember now AI. Like we've grown with tech, and so like when we see something that we didn't get to quite enjoy as a kid because our parents didn't understand it, we want to enjoy it now as an adult, and we want to relive it for the first time. And so when there's remakes, there's remasters, there's an addition to some stories that we love or games that we covet so much. It's been that. Why do you think they re-released Fire Red and Leaf Green for they wanted to get those old Pokemon players back in and ready in anticipation for the new launch. It's just nostalgia's huge right now. But that also leaves no room for innovation for gaming. But some games are still innovating, which is really cool. Speaking of a game that came out 8 years ago, and experienced record high numbers. All-time player count on Steam was the highest it's ever been, and that was The Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
They are innovating. What are they doing? They're innovating a game, in my opinion, that was ahead of its time. I feel like The Division 1 and 2 were both ahead of its time, just like Titanfall 1 and 2 were both ahead of its time. We won Titanfall 3. We love Apex, but we won Titanfall 3. Yes. I don't care if you have to go back in time. I don't care. You know what? Talking about nostalgia, remake them. Just start over and give them back to us so we can play again. Anyway, Division 2 announced. Big launch. It's coming in. They're coming up with 10 years of Division this coming up year. They're innovating. They're taking probably one of the best games to do this to be they're putting an extraction shooter mode. They're bringing back cross play.
Yep.
And everything. So these games that still had a cult following, there's a lot of people that play these games. They're innovating based off of what is really hitting now, which is extraction shooters, right? And so you see The Division, which is again one of my favorite games. They're innovating. They're taking things that are popular. They're making an extraction shooter mode, and then now they're going to be bringing crossplay. And I feel like it's going to change everything for the genre that Division's in. And so they're innovating, and because of their announcement, just the announcement alone, brought in record users.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So I didn't play The Division 2. I played The Division.
Yes,
on the PlayStation 3.
So good, dude. Yeah.
Such a great game. No, it was I played it on the PS4.
It was on the PS4, yeah.
PS4. But dude, such a fantastic game.
Incredible.
Never played The Division 2, but I did actually watch some streams past couple days because you had brought it up.
Yeah, and I was streaming it too.
Because it's like super cheap on Steam right now.
Yeah, $4 or something like that.
Yeah, it's wild. So, I was like, okay, well let me just see what's going on with The Division 2 and checking it out, and solid game. And you know what? It's a beautiful game.
Yeah, it looks great too.
It's even visually appealing. It's like, wow, imagine they actually just keep investing in like making the game look good.
Yep.
There's so much to do in the game, and it has that nostalgic feel to it because it came out around a time that like video games were pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Video games were pretty good.
Yep.
And like we're talking pre-COVID. What is this, like 2012, 2017,
The
28.
Division came out 2014, I believe. Yeah.
But the Division came out 2014, which is
Or no,
fantastic
2015,
time
something like
for
that.
video
Yeah.
games.
100%. Yeah.
But just kind of like the whole 2010s era of video games was pretty fire.
Yep.
Like,
Agreed.
we were cranking out games. We didn't have subscriptions
Nope.
for which, I mean, I'm a fan of the subscriptions. I don't like how expensive they've had to get. However, I am a fan of pay this much money a month, you get a huge library of games.
Right. Exactly.
I think it's great.
Agreed.
But I think there is still something to say about nostalgia.
Yep.
Something that actually goes a lot deeper, and maybe we don't really realize it because, like, if we think about even going back to BRs, right? All of the major BRs have gone back to their roots at some point because everybody online was screaming about, back in the good old days,
Right.
like, oh man, Verdance.
Yeah.
Right? And then so they brought Verdance back, and it was hype for like 2 weeks.
Right.
And then people went off and they started playing other games. And same thing with Apex. They brought back, dude, when they dropped World's Edge, like the original World's Edge.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Also, I kind of like World's Edge the way it is now. It's a lot
I
better.
do too.
Like it felt good. But you know what we did is we just went to the old POIs and had some gunfights and remembered the good times that we had playing in those POIs.
Yep.
And I think the issue here is not that like games were better then.
Yeah.
Because they clearly weren't.
No.
I think the problem is that as people, we're chasing a feeling.
Oh yeah, 100%. We
Yeah.
want that same feeling again, and we're not getting it. Like I played, like what was it? Like I beat Red Dead Redemption 2, and that ruined single player gaming for me. I'm like, I can't find anything that's just like this mode. Like I want to play it again, but at some point, it's not bad. But like some point, I don't know. I feel like innovation needs to happen with gaming, and there needs to be continued growth because it's always sometimes, not always. I would just say a lot of times now it's like, here's a regurgitation. It's like the same thing over and over and over again. Like Call of Duty, I feel like has become Madden. Like it's just a football game with new players and heightened graphics. And there you go. Here you go. Here's a cool backstory and a campaign that no one's gonna play. Like it's just how it is now. But I feel like more games need to be like The Division. I feel like, you think of these kind of games and really good games. If they were smart, I would 100% think they should bring something back with Titanfall. Extraction shooters are huge. People should capitalize it. Franchises should capitalize, different IPs. Like think of it like a freaking Jurassic Park extraction shooter would be so sick.
That would be awesome.
Continued innovation with Star Wars games, like Lord of the Rings, like all these different amazing IPs.
Star Wars VR.
Dude, Star Wars VR is a Republic Commando. Dude, a Republic Commando extraction shooter.
Let's go.
Bro, that's what we need right there.
Yeah.
You heard us, Lucasfilm. Dave Filoni, do us a solid, bro.
We love you, Dave.
We love you, Dave. But
that was a holy kiss, by the way.
That was a brotherly kiss. But again, it's, I don't know. You just think of all the different ways that people can innovate and we can bring something really cool. I mean, there's so many good ideas for what games could be. But I just feel like, again, like you said, there's business moves that have to happen. There's people who as someone who has worked corporate before and has been in some of those rooms, you're just like, some people are just making decisions that don't make any sense. You're not listening to what people want. Like you're just making a move because you feel like it's the good move. And that's super common. And it's probably in the gaming space as well. So we don't know, like, the devs are just being told what they need to do.
Yeah.
And instead of like being able to create just amazing games, sometimes gaming I feel like it can kind of get reduced to just what people think is going to be good rather than actually listening to what people want.
And then the games that do listen to what people want
do phenomenal. Oh yeah.
No, they get shut down.
Oh yeah, it's true.
High guard.
Yeah, High Guard. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We wanted more players. They gave us more players like a week later.
Yeah, they gave us 5v5. Oh, we want this. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but it is what it is. You can't win them all, but same time, you know, gaming's going to keep going, and we're going to keep playing games regardless. So it is what it is, I guess, at this point.
That's fair. That's fair. So, what do you think is like? What do you think's the solution there? I mean, obviously, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to complain, especially with the internet.
Everyone complains, no matter
And
how.
it seems like everyone's complaining, but I always feel like it's a really small.
It's always a small amount.
It's a small amount of people that complain, but they're the loudest ones.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
easier
it
to
seems like
complain.
everybody.
It's easier to complain about something than actually like give something a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people talk about like, oh, Apex is dead. I was like, bro, Apex consistently holds over 100,000 players
Yep.
on Steam.
Yep.
And that is the minority of Apex players.
Yeah. Yeah. People are gonna play. I mean, like this. I mean, like the solution to all this stuff is just simply just like, I don't know. I feel like gamers need to lighten up just a little bit on stuff and just like enjoy gaming. We're at like, yeah, it may not be like, peak gaming like we maybe experienced like mid 20 teens and stuff. But like, there's a lot of good games coming out. There's a lot of cool things coming out. There's a lot of great games to play. And I think what we need to do is stop whining about the current games that we are playing. Maybe try something new. Go find a new favorite game. Go enjoy a story mode. Get out of your comfort zone and go try a new game. It's like going to go watch a new genre of movie or going to like do something different. Like go play different games and go enjoy games. People don't enjoy games anymore. They overly analyze and overly, critique things and like, I'm like, it's a game. Go play. Go have fun. Go into another world and just have fun with friends and call the day. So that's that's for me. Just thinking of like people just need to branch out a little bit, enjoy what they have, hope for the best, and that's about all you can do. We don't really have too much power over how games are going to come out. Either stop playing or play something else and move forward.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I think that the major issue is deeper than we all really think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially after COVID, the gaming space got particularly like more angry
All the time. Yep.
and I think a lot of us are chasing that feeling that we had because we were all at home
Yep, we're
playing
all playing
Warzone with the
games,
boys,
all
playing
the
Apex
time.
with the boys.
Every day for 8 hours a day. It felt sometimes,
Yeah, man.
like it was a lot.
8 hours, try 12, bro.
Yeah.
Get the numbers up.
Sorry, I was busy making content.
I wasn't.
There it is.
So, but I think we're just trying to chase that feeling because we're not fulfilled in our
Yep.
life, right now. And there's a lot of people who are really just kind of, they're not even searching for purpose.
Yep.
They're just completely ignoring the search for purpose.
Yep.
Right. And, obviously, as Christians,
Yep.
like our purpose is spreading the gospel. Our purpose is creating disciples.
Yeah. And getting to know getting closer to God. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that's the main issue.
That's the biggest, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're talking, what I was saying was very surface level, but like we want to talk deep. Like, you're not going to fulfill.
Let's go deep.
Let's
Be my pastor right now.
To the holy place. Lift up your hands, church.
We're going to take a praise break real quick, chat.
Our God is an awesome.
Hit me with the early 2000s worship music.
One way to Jesus. You're the only one that I could live for. Anyway, no, I mean we're always gonna be unsatisfied. Life, anything of this world is gonna leave us unsatisfied. We're gonna have fun. Don't get me wrong. There's gonna be fun moments. There's gonna be great high moments. But at the same time, we're not gonna find purpose in anything else other than the Lord, and giving our lives to Jesus and surrendering our hearts to the Lord and surrendering, our will to Him for His will. And that's where satisfaction comes in. And here's the thing, like I get frustrated over some games and I wish, man, I think in my head, like, man, I wish like there could be some cool games that are coming out, but same time, it's like I'm fulfilled in Jesus. Like I don't like if I don't get what I want in gaming, I'm good. But there's some people out there who obviously spend time gaming like we do, but that's where they find fulfillment. And so when the game fails them, they lack fulfillment. When those call that's why you hear Call of Duty players all the time, like, I hate this game. And also new Call of Duty comes back and they're like, COD's back, let's go. And then a week later, this game sucks. And the new Call it's a repeat. They're living in insanity, basically, is what it is. It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And so we need Jesus and we need fulfillment in him. And when we have fulfillment in him, that's gonna give us a reason to not really like, yeah, be like, oh man, that kind of stupid. I can't believe they did that in that game. But end of the day, it's like, well, I got the Lord. I'm good. Like, still gonna game, baby. So that's just that. 100%. That's the mindset to have.
That's fair.
Yeah.
However, and I want to also just maybe help out the person who isn't the Christ follower, because
Right.
I don't want to assume that everybody that watches this is sold out for Christ.
You're about to be.
But say I'm a guy in my late 20s, and I kind of feel like the whole world is against me. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I hate my job, and video games was, maybe video games is what's keeping me going every day,
Right.
right? I mean, we see reels on Instagram and in TikTok videos where, like, I saw one the other day. This guy was holding a controller and he looked at the camera and he's like, "This cuss word is literally saving people's life."
Yeah.
And it's like, I know what you're saying. It's not, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are using video games to soothe deeper issues.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to tell somebody like go to church today. I mean, if you're thinking about it, do it. But like if this is me, if I'm this guy right now, if I'm just like, this can't be the best that life gets. Like,
Right.
where should I start? Maybe I'm not ready to really necessarily talk religion, but I mean, where can we encourage these people to turn to and to maybe get on a better path that doesn't feel so depressing?
I mean, I only know one answer, and I know we're like, let's not talk, but like truly, like if we want to be real about it, like you've tried everything, like opening your heart to a possibility that there is something bigger than you, a bigger purpose than you, which is found in Jesus, is found in Christ, is found in who he is. And you may be out there again, like you said, someone who just hasn't really experienced church before, hasn't really experienced that, really, or just is not feeling ready to. I would just encourage to find something that's close, like that is introducing yourself to that, whether it be maybe you're going to Easter service that's coming up here in a couple weeks, or going somewhere, going to a small group, going to a men's or women's group, something that's going to encourage you and uplift you and ultimately point you in the right direction and point you to Christ. Because, in my opinion, as someone who was 20 something years old, who did struggle a lot, who used video games as a coping mechanism, yes, there's a lot of moments where I was like, man, being able to escape video games really like helped me escape from a lot of things that was going on in my life. But it wasn't until that I decided, you know what, I need to turn to the Lord and I need to give my heart to Jesus. And it wasn't perfect right off the bat. Like, I had a lot of questions. I just didn't get it at first, but I remember really just like, here you go, God. Here you go. Like, even as a believer, like really like, here you go, Lord. Like, I need to give this to you. But I think the right direction is to understand this. Number one, knowing that your identity is not found in video games. Your identity is not found in how life is currently right now. Your circumstances don't define who you are. Your hardships do not define who you are. But who does define you is the Lord. And when we do turn to the Lord and we do decide to open our heart up to him, things begin to shift. Our identity, our focus of our identity changes. Our focus on life changes. Our need to feel, numb the pain goes away because we can give that to him. there's so many different ways that you can do that, but I think ultimately there's only one answer. Because I mean, if didn't know God, I'd probably be able to guide guide someone who does it into like figuring out. But I know Jesus. I know He's done something, and we both know the answer is Jesus. The answer is turning to Him. The answer is submitting ourselves to Him. And for those who are watching this that don't know who Jesus is, like invite you to get to know who He is, or go to church, or ask, comment, if you want to talk or whatever it is. People just need. I feel like the ultimate fulfillment is going to be found in that. But I think if we want to take a first step, it's really detaching yourself from your value found in gaming, your identity found in gaming, and your worth found in all that. So that's my thoughts on that.
That's really good, man. And I mean, I agree with you. Like, there's really only one way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's on my heart to really kind of speak to this person right now. It's like I'm not really ready to maybe have that conversation. And I would just encourage that person to just like hang around some people that look like they're enjoying life. And you do have to get outside your house to find those people.
Right.
Right. And so, as you mentioned, like Easter's coming up. This is the one day of the year that most people are actually open to going to church.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you need to walk into church and raise your hands and, and talk to God, but maybe just go in there and shake some hands with some folks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Introduce yourself. Most people inside of a church are going to be more than happy to talk with you, maybe even go to lunch with you.
Yep.
Like, man, whenever I go to church, the people in my church are just so kind.
Yeah.
From day one.
Yep.
They've just always been so kind to me. And I've developed some of the deepest relationships that I have in my life with those people. And I do think that it's probably the best place that you can go, not just because I'm trying to tell you like you need to go to church, but man, if you're just not happy with where you are in life, the number one thing that you can do is to get around people that are happy with where they are in their life. Right? What is that quote? You're a reflection of like the 5 closest people to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if the 5 closest people to you are people that look and sound just like you.
Yep. Exactly.
Now you know why.
Right.
Okay. And if you don't have 5 close people to you because you're isolated playing video games, and I've been this guy.
Right.
I've been the isolated guy who is just upset because he's solo queuing into a match and doesn't have teammates.
Right.
I am also the guy now who solo queues, even though I have friends.
Right.
And I'm the one who's telling everybody else in our community, like, hey, be nice to the random teammate. Right?
Right. Jeez, that's funny.
And people don't like it whenever I do that. But anyway, if you don't even have 5 people,
right.
Well, now you got your other problem.
Correct.
Right. And maybe you're an introvert, maybe you're shy. Well, most people typically are shy in some capacity. Right. So you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone.
Yep.
And I think that's the other thing too, is clinging to comfort is another thing that kind of just keeps people stuck.
Yep.
Right. And our heart for you is not to be stuck. We want to see everybody who plays video games flourish. Yep. Eventually, giving your life to Christ, because you will never know fulfillment.
Yep.
on that level.
Right.
Outside of Him. And I can't think of anything that even comes remotely close to it. So, but, if you're not there yet, just talk to people.
Yeah.
Talk to people. And another place is just go help people. Go serve somebody. There's something about helping people that you don't know and just being selfless.
Right.
Like what we believe, the Bible, it tells us to do this.
Right.
And I don't know anybody who does that and doesn't just feel amazing coming away from it.
Right.
There's something about when you act selflessly. It puts a joy inside of you that is unmatched by anything else.
Yep.
And I think those are 2 really good places for people to start. both of those things you have to get away from your setup to do. You have to get off of your couch. But even if you can't get off your couch, if you can't get away from your computer, we have a community with people who are like this.
Yep.
And it's called the Deadly Fam community. It is a Discord server. Matter of fact, it is the world's largest Christian gaming Discord server. We have people literally almost every continent.
Except for Antarctica, of course.
Well, we're working on the penguins.
Yeah.
I know a guy. His name's Larry. Larry the penguin. But anyway, people on every continent who are in there playing video games, and not just playing video games, but having deep conversations,
Yep.
encouraging each other,
Yep.
right, and building each other up. So
Yep.
this is not a place to just find teammates. This is a place to actually find friends.
Yep.
Find people who are going to encourage you, people that you can virtually come alongside with
Yep.
and do life with. We're doing Bible studies in there.
Yep.
Matters
Bible
Facts
studies, yeah.
on Monday nights. Dill here does an amazing Bible study and brings in the community. People get a chance to come in and actually talk.
Yep.
Not just write in the chat, which
Nope.
obviously there's nothing wrong with that. We got people that write into the chat. I'm one
Yep.
of those people, but it's an open conversation as a community.
Yep.
It's not just come and watch Dill talk to the camera.
Right.
That's
exactly.
what you come here for.
Exactly. Exactly.
So.
Definitely want to join up on that. But if anyone's in the in the chat or in the and watching the video, and you are someone who, number one, needs to come back to the Lord, or number two, maybe watching us talk about hearing us talk about everything, you need to come back to the Lord, or you need to you want to give your heart to Jesus. Maybe you're someone who's been on the fence and all that. You can comment below. Comment in the comments. Let us know, hey, I really need to come back to the Lord. Could you pray for me? Or, hey, I need to, I want to give my life to Jesus. Let us know in the comments, and we can reach out to you and help you and all that stuff like that. If you're really wanting to find purpose, really wanting to find that place in life where you're getting your purpose, you're getting your identity, you're getting all that, to really focus in and to just, let us know in the comments. Let us know if you want to, you want to get saved, or maybe you received Jesus, or if you need to come back to the Lord. Maybe you've been the prodigal son. You need to run to the Father in His open arms, and with His open arms, and rock it. Come back to the Lord. So let us know in the comments below, and we can go from there.
All right. Last thing, and then we'll wrap this up. Are battle royales dying?
I would say they're just in a weird place. I don't think they're going to die.
Are there any that you think are going to fall off completely and just become irrelevant? The next, what's the next H1Z1?
To be honest, I think the three, Fortnite's going to be relevant. Call of Duty, instead of relevant, I just realized our Discord guy, our homie Irrelevant. I say irrelevant now instead of irrelevant. Irrelevant. They're gonna be irrelevant. I don't know, man. I mean, Call of Duty's always gonna come back. People are, you have your fanboys. You have Fortnite, but I mean, if anything were to go, and I don't think it would, it might be Apex, but I don't think it would go anytime soon. Same time, I also think that could be Call of Duty, or Warzone, just because of how horrible everyone says it is all the time. But you still have you have Call of Duty fanboys for life. No matter what comes out, they're gonna buy it. So that's the part. With Apex, you got people who are literally we're not playing this game anymore. So that's the tough part. So I'm not 100% sure, but I would say that if anyone, probably Apex would probably be a smidge, the one that would probably go away first, in my opinion. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I'm going to go for the easy answer and say that RedSec will be the next one.
Okay, RedSec, obviously, yes. I was talking about the big three. Okay, RedSec will probably, out
of the big three, I would have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's Apex.
Yep.
Fortnite is just too big.
Too big. It's become almost like Roblox.
And they also have just demonstrated the ability to pivot.
Yep. They have.
So, and for people who don't understand what I mean by that, that's a marketing term. They are very quick to change directions when they realize that something's not working.
Yep.
And then Call of Duty has literally been around since the PlayStation 2.
Yep.
My first Call of Duty game was Call of Duty 3. It was just a campaign. I thought it was the most amazing game on planet Earth.
Well, I think all those were just campaigns to
They
start
were.
because there was no live.
Until Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare is the one that brought the live.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, then Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Yeah, dude. People were
And that's
slaying that game. Yeah.
That's when you develop the lifelong Call of Duty players
Yep.
who will always play that game.
100%. 100%.
At the same time, though, like Apex, nobody ever really quits Apex.
You don't quit. You take a break and you come
yeah.
back. Yeah.
They usually take a break and come back. But Call of Duty just has such a strong cult following.
Yep.
It's not going to go anywhere.
No, I agree.
So,
I agree.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so none of those are going to die. Which one's worth playing the most right now, though?
Apex.
Apex.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Call of Duty brought out a new game mode, but at the same time, it's like, how long is that going to last? I feel like Apex may, sometimes get frustrating, but at the same time, it's pretty consistent. I feel like Apex across the board can be consistent a lot of the times. With like, we know what we're going to play, we know the characters, we know this, blah, blah. Where it feels like sometimes with Fortnite, you walk in there and you're like, what the heck is going on? There's so much going on in the BR. Like, it's not straightforward. Now, I play ranked mostly. I never play pub, so I'm not really in that world. But, yeah.
No, that's fair. And I think, especially for Apex, like, ranked is obviously, ranked is where it's at.
Yep.
All of the other BRs, they've got on the train and realized, like, we have to have a ranked mode.
Yep.
The people who play these games are incredibly competitive.
Yep.
And I also think that you're going to see that they're going to start skewing more to that competitive audience.
Yep.
Because you're seeing extraction shooters trying to figure that out right now.
Yep.
They're like, okay, competitive or nah.
Right.
Somebody's got to pick up the casual player base.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
And I don't think that's really battle royales. Maybe Fortnite, because people play that game with their kids.
Right.
But I think this kind of leaves the door open for another genre to really kind of take over.
Yep.
For the casual players.
I agree.
Do you think that's extraction shooters?
Yeah, I think extraction. I mean, they're already seeing it. Extraction shooters. You can hop on Arc and just good to go. Now, Marathon's a little more competitive. But extraction shooters, I think, I think it's going to be the same thing though. You're going to have some extraction shooters that are more competitive. You're going to have ones that are more casual. You're going to have ones that are a little more intense. It is what it is, So I think that you're just going to experience those kind of games across the board. But I think extraction shooters definitely cater more to casual.
I could see that. Do you think that extraction shooters are really becoming like the new battle royale?
Oh,
or is battle royale just gonna remain like the top?
I should take back the statement. I think both. I think they're both gonna flourish. I think now, which is great, you have two different kinds of games that are flourishing. They're doing really well. Yeah, BR I wouldn't say is flourishing, but like people are still playing it. Arc Raiders is still popular. Marathon is still popular. You're getting Division extraction shooter. You're getting a lot of stuff. So I think that there's just always going to be a, I don't know. I think now that extraction shooters are big, BRs are still pretty big. I think you're just going to have them coincide together. I think everyone's going to play a little bit of everything.
It's true. I kind of think that too,
Yeah.
especially seeing the player base from the major BRs take a dip in player count, a pretty significant one.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because people are going to try extraction shooters, especially casual players who are just tired of being sweat at games. From what I understand, Warzone or not Warzone, Black Ops Royale. From what I understand, it doesn't have a casual mode.
No, it doesn't. I think it's just straight up. Yeah.
Which honestly, that's an L because
Yeah.
casual mode was so much fun.
I agree. Destroying 50 bots.
Nothing makes you feel more like a man.
Yeah, than sniping someone from 400 meters and it was a bot standing still.
Clip it.
Clip it. Clip it. Oh my goodness. So good. So good.
So good, man. Well, yeah, I think BRs are definitely in a weird spot right now. However, I think that it's gonna continue to level itself out.
I agree.
And I think that really, again, people just need to have more grace for these games and also just be open to trying new things.
Yep.
Stop playing one game.
Yep.
Right. Also, go outside, touch grass, talk to people.
Roll around in grass.
We should do that.
We should go roll around in grass. Seriously. Yeah.
So, also, I know we had talked about having a segment of the podcast, or at least like an episode every now and then, where we just do the episode outside
And touch grass. Yeah.
the touch
100%.
grass episode.
It might happen. Yeah.
So, look forward to that coming. And also a in-depth dive into Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and Stardew Valley. BR. Dude, imagine.
I just want a Lord of the Rings BR and Gollum being the announcer.
The cheerleader is dead, precious. The ring is closing. The ring, the precious? Where is it? Frodo has died.
Dude, or like a game, oh goodness, what is the Quidditch game? Quidditch Champions.
Yeah, Harry
Could
Potter.
you imagine? Could you imagine Gollum as the announcer of something like that? All
dead.
games need Gollum, 100%.
Yes, indeed, that's processes. Gollum, Gollum. Smeagol. Why is he crying? I lost the BR processes.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway. Gaming's great. Keep playing. BRs are going to be awesome. And this has been a fun conversation.
Yeah, man. I think this is good. I think in the next episode, we can dive into some more of these other topics that are arising. Obviously, we got Pokemon. Just released a new game. And then also, there's a lot of cozy games coming out.
We love cozy. We may
cozy
even
games.
wear onesies next podcast. We'll see.
Oh my goodness. In the chat, what matching onesie should we wear in the next episode?
Put the Amazon link. We'll make it happen.
You're gonna regret this.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, anyway, we appreciate y'all hanging out today, and we will see you in the next episode.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Back to the lobby. I'm Deadly Dill. And
I'm
this is
Threephase.
Threephase. The dude, the homie, the legend. He's
Yes.
handsome. All right. Anyway, remember, pray. Make sure you pray and kiss the homies goodnight. Later.